Right is something you own. It's yours. Have you been misled thinking that pride is something to give to others, that you should make others proud? What do you achieve by making someone else proud of you? You avoiding shame? You fulfill their expectations of you. What do you accomplish by being proud of someone else, celebrating their success, encouraging others to keep trying? That's the pride you get to show to others. That's the pride you allow others to show you. You should be proud of yourself, proud that you dared, tried, succeeded. This right belongs primarily to you and only you. Live your life so that you can be proud of yourself. You carry the whole journey with you. No one else will ever do it for you. No one will ever walk your path. See it the way you do. You are not here to make others proud. What are they proud of? That you please them, bend to their will, lived against your own truth, lived according to their truth and their expectations of you. When were we lied that our lives don't belong to us, that someone else can determine the direction of our lives, that our lives are something someone else can own? Our lives are something someone else has the right to be proud of. And for how long? For a fleeting moment. You do more harm to yourself with this when you live your life hoping to make someone else proud of you. When were we lied to that our lives are an extension of someone else's ego? An ego that grows and lives for money, power, envy, lust. This is the pride you allow others to feel. It's not the joy and encouragement of your success, efforts, and brilliance. This pride is about allowing others to feel the joy of success and you being proud of not making anyone ashamed of you. This is not pride. This is not real happiness. Think about your life. Do you notice? Have you lived it for yourself? Or have you lived your life in fear of shame? Are you proud of yourself? When were we lied to that true love doesn't belong to us, that we have to give it away too? We have to give our love to someone who doesn't respect it. We have to give away the love for ourselves so we can make someone else proud of us. Who? Certainly not yourself. When we lied to that passion is something that belongs to someone else, that we can only live our lives passionately when it benefits anyone else but ourselves. Live your life with passion so you make others proud of your actions. That's not passion, that's fear. You live your life in fear, serving the devil, the ego, money, lust, power, envy. And this devil does everything to ensure you never see this truth. Live your life just the way it's supposed to be, suffering. You have given everything away voluntarily. You have given away pride, love, passion, your life. And why? For money, for ego. Have you been afraid of layoffs, threats, or being fired? You live in hell serving money, the devil. Do you see? Open your eyes. If only you knew what you could achieve if you were allowed to shine. If your opinion were heard, if you dared to speak the truth. Have you been afraid that you are not enough, that you don't measure up, that you can't stay on budget, meet deadlines, or tell the truth? Not your truth. It doesn't matter. Do you fear not fitting into someone else's truth? Do you fear not being able to lie anymore, to live against your own truth? Do you think you will be rewarded for staying silent, working voluntarily overtime, doing your colleagues' work, pushing yourself beyond your limits, accepting cuts, extra tasks, and changes that only bring more suffering to you? Do you know how much money you generate by acting like this? You are serving the devil, egos that rely on money. Do you believe that one day you will finally get to live, to shine? You are keeping quiet, letting it all continue. A change for the better has never been an option. Do you see that? Why would it ever be an option? You have exchanged your life and your truth for money, and you don't even get his money, like you don't get anything else that belongs to you. Have you worked overtime, taken on extra tasks, or done your colleagues' work just to keep your job? Do you really believe that this is just temporary, that you will still be rewarded? At the very least, that you won't lose your job? That's your reward. Do you notice your darkness anymore? Is it fear or money that has blinded you? You received a bonus and made others proud. Did you make yourself proud? How long did this false happiness last? What do you think will happen if you stop and decide to live your truth? What do you think will happen if you stop and say your truth out loud and refuse to suffer? Help these egos to see truth about layoffs and threats. It's not your job to bend to these if your paycheck is suffering. Could you see the light? Could you see all the opportunities for growth and development if you were given a chance? Could you experience that love, passion, and pride in what you do when you are allowed to do your job listening to your truth, your passion, your heart? You wouldn't need to be ashamed anymore. Have you been afraid that you are not enough? Have you silenced yourself and bent to others? Have you feared their anger and rejection if you don't adapt to their truth? Have you been afraid that you are not worthy of someone's love or friendship when living your own truth? Have you submitted and silenced yourself? Have you feared the anger you had received from your partner, friend, or relative if you don't bend to their truth? Do you fear what would happen if you didn't make someone else proud? If you didn't serve their ego? If you didn't make someone else happy? Do you really believe that someday you will get back love and respect? That you won't have to feel shame for you who you are? You are not serving love. What do you think will happen if you stop and decide to live your truth? Could your path intersect with someone like you, and could you experience genuine encouragement, joy, and pride in what you do? Mutual respect. You haven't lived your life for a long time. Are you happy? Do you shine? Do you suffer? You continue as a slave, waiting for a better tomorrow. Do you believe it will ever come if you just wait? You don't get pride, passion, love, your light, your life. Open your eyes. You are not living. You are not allowed to live because you give too much. Divide and conquer. Your mind has been divided since the moment you were born. Do you really think this is the truth of life? Hell. Your mind has been divided and you are controlled by fear. That's the truth. You have been divided so deeply that you can't even see the light in the darkness anymore. Have you already forgotten how beautiful and brightly your light could shine if you allowed it? If you let yourself live your life, your truth. You are afraid to live your truth. You are afraid of what will happen if you stop serving the devil, the ego, the only truth you know. Fear and shame have never belonged to you. They are not something you should feel. You live your life. You make your life. When you live your truth, your heart, you experience the pride that belongs to you, the pride that has been taken from you. You have been driven so deep into hell that seeing your truth is almost impossible. You have been made to believe that life is the truth, that your life's purpose is to serve devil, money, egos, suffering in hell. But do you feel fear? You wouldn't feel it if you knew you were living your truth. This has not been taken away from you. You fear layoffs, divorce, shame, anger. From whom? From someone who has not right to make you feel these things. From someone whose job should be to encourage, celebrate, love you. Nobody should ever have the right to deny you the chance to live your truth, your heart. You are not serving them anymore. Your life's path is wide open, and your light illuminates every intersection. Listen to your heart. Which path should you take? You can never get lost. You will get your rights. That's the truth. The purpose of life is not to suffer. Your purpose is not live in hell serving the devil. Life is, and your purpose is, to love, enjoy, rejoice, grow, shine. Life is paradise. Serve God. That God is you, and you are already living in paradise. You have all the power to make your life a paradise, just as you have turned it into hell. Just open your eyes and see the truth.